Cryptilians and crypto crackheads, today is Monday, March 8th, and you're about to get Timified. So in this video, we're going to cover altcoins. I typically cover altcoins in one video and Bitcoin, perhaps Ethereum in another video, as those typically lead the market. So here's our altcoin charting day. We're going to start with BEPRO because our BEPRO train's getting big. A YouTuber, George, I think it's Crypto RS, kind of like Toys R Us. I think he has about 40,000 followers. He used to have more, but then YouTube got rid of his channel for some reason. I don't know. I don't think he said anything appropriate. He's usually a pretty formal dude. I've been following him since 2017 under my other account, under my full name. He covered BEPRO, and when he did it, he covered 3 coins, 3 smaller alts. And in the comments section, it looked like BEPRO was crushing it. I mean, BEPRO train, BEPRO train. I don't know how many folks who have seen my videos were on there. I would imagine several, if not perhaps as much as half per YouTube searches and stuff. But anyway, I saw one comment on his video, and I think that commenter got it totally right. And that really, when I formed up essentially a BEPRO pump group. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but anyway, when we did that, when BEPRO was sitting at 0.0021, something like that, and I essentially facilitated a breakout of current price action. But the reason or my intent of doing that was to get it on the top gainers list for 2 days straight. And because I know what YouTubers are doing YouTubers who are trying to create a revenue off of an audience, which is not my intent. I don't need to do that. But they need to figure out what to talk about, right? And one of the main sources to do that is through looking at the top gainers list, what's trending. And if you're one of the first people to get on a trend, that is a good thing to do. So essentially, I created that trend with me and my group, and we succeeded. So George was the first bigger YouTuber. I think one YouTuber previously with about I think it's 7,000 subscribers had covered it 1 day or 2 days after we got it on the top gainers list. But anyway, that commenter said, hey folks, you better get you some BEPRO before even bigger YouTubers start talking about it and it really goes off. So I think that YouTuber got it right for 2 reasons. First, I just said my intent, and that intent was fulfilled. But second, most importantly, retail, and most of my viewers, so if you're viewing this, you likely are a retail buyer. If you have not been in following Bitcoin videos or cryptocurrency videos all through 2018, 2019, 2020, through all the boringness. Actually, 2018 was not boring. It was straight down and it was bloody and it was murder the whole time. But, you know, if you weren't in there and following, almost every day, or at least once or twice a week, then you are retail, right? So if you're jumping in now, then you are a retail buyer, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, honestly, I mean, think about it. If you were in it in 2018 and 2019 and you're not really good at trading, you just would have watched your money fall down. So it's pretty wise to get in as retail's getting in, because that's when things start getting hot, getting real hot. So it's not bad to be a retail buyer. However, for the market, when retail comes in, that's when things get hot. So and what makes it hot is retail. What's their go-to source to figure out what to buy, where to put the money they have available? That is YouTube. And YouTubers really are the people who are driving price action of small alts. And that's all based on my intent. I knew the time was right, and a lot of small alts have already popped. So my entire research, and I didn't have to research very long. I found BEPRO within maybe the first 8 hours of looking, which is a small amount for me since I've been literally hunting for gems for 4 years. During the whole, after the blow off top, I've literally put in hours and hours and hours a week. And have been chipping in hundreds of dollars a month for years, which has been very beneficial. But anyway, the momentum is now, and things are going to get really, really, really hot. So anybody during retail season can make money during a bull market, because if you literally just throw $100 at anything in crypto, maybe besides Cardano. I hate on Cardano a little bit. Great project, but I wouldn't buy an Apple for $500 no matter how awesome the technology behind creating the Apple was, right? So, but anyway, I do like Cardano as what they have planned to do. But anyway, the retail market is anybody can make money. If you throw $100 at anything, $1,000, $10,000, you're going to make money, as long as you're not a person who buys glory, sees it going down 10%, sells, and then when you try to buy back, it's already higher, and when you're buying back, it's glory again, and then you panic sell. So that's pretty much what my channel's for. My channel is geared towards retail viewers, because I don't want you to get screwed. I want to, essentially, the intent of my channel is to take you retail folks and turn you into somebody like me who is in the space and stays here after while it's crashing. And here's why I want to do that. There are two reasons. First is because you're going to get screwed because you're going to think everything's just going up forever, because that's what you know. Kind of like being born in America, you know, post 1940 or so, all you have seen is prosperity. You don't know anything else, and which is very fortunate. But in crypto, it's going to come down, and it's going to come down nasty, and most people don't get out in time. But anyway, so I don't want you to get wrecked, and I want to help you guys capitalize on your gains, because this can be life-changing stuff. So everybody can make money, but I want to help you capitalize on it and make as much as you can, and perhaps change your life. I mean, honestly, this is life-changing crap, folks. But also, second, the crypto market it's going to rival Forex, your foreign exchanges, S&P 500 and NASDAQ. I'm telling you, mark my words. It might take 15 years, but I have a feeling that once DeFi really starts taking off and it becomes more mainstream, which I think it will be mainstream before Bitcoin really is, once people see how much interest they can make by holding stable coins and not dealing with government monopoly money, I think it's going to be pretty much game over, and then people will understand how distributed ledger technology and blockchain, why it makes sense with money, and why you don't need government printing money via an unelected form of government that is secretive, right? You don't need their monopoly money. So I think DeFi will bridge the gap to the population, so that they can better understand why money works with distributed ledger technology, distributed ownership technology. So I want you here for that. And if you get wrecked, or let's say you triple or 6x your money, right? And then it tanks on you and you get out right as you're breaking even. It's going to be a bad experience. You're not going to be here. So anyway, that's why I'm here. So BEPRO. Okay, so I'm starting on the weekly chart, and if there's anything that I say in my video, such as straddle orders, time frame, weekly, daily, whatever, if I say anything that you don't understand, look down in the description section. I'm trying to create a list of anything that I say that doesn't make sense. I have a quick link for it with a timestamp. But what I'll do in the future is I'm going to start making I guess informative videos, so that it can specifically be just on those specific topics. So indicators, whatever, I should have the links or information down there. And if you hear me say something that you don't understand and it's not down there, let me know, and then I'll just add it to the list, essentially like a library. But anyway, so weekly time frame BEPRO. So look at that. So down here, look at this RSI. It's in the hot zone. So a lot of people might say, oh, it's over in the Stochastic hot zone too. A lot of people say, oh, it's overbought, it's going to come down. Not necessarily. As long as it's above this green line, it's hot. That means price action will make new highs. That's what this green line, that's why Krown, Eric, I think is his name, Eric with a K. He's one of my mentors, and he doesn't even know it. I've been watching him for 4.5 years. But anyway, he created this because he's a master trader, and yeah, I mean, it's over it. So this is bullish, period. So let's look at the daily. So the daily, look at the RSI here. It's also over the green. Stokes are curled up. This is bullish. Will this break out? It could, especially now that a YouTuber with 40,000 subscribers has covered it. This, so daily candle, so 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. This might scream up straight to 3 cents, 2.7 cents. It could. However, I kind of have a feeling it's not going to. I want it to retest here at minimum and actually dip below this blue line and fill out some of this range. And so most of my viewers already know why. So these blue lines exist. These are kind of like our temporary origin lines of sort, which you should have on pretty much any chart you're ever looking at. So look past here. Most of the almost 100% of price action for about a 20-day period was here. All right, and things work until they don't. So our big dip came to where? Exactly in this zone. All right, so and if we come down here, test it, and kind of write it like this, and then maybe drop down and come like that, we are filling out this range and we're creating better support. And what I mean by support is you're allowing these moving averages. So if you're new to my channel, you can essentially look in the description section what color means what and what they mean and how to put it on your chart. So I should have it all in there. But anyway, when you provide support or even come down like this and make a angle like where my cursor is going like this, that's pretty healthy too. That's how Bitcoin moves and a lot of bigger coins move. But anyway, you're allowing these to catch up. You cannot just keep going up and up. It's not possible. These have to catch up. And price essentially likes to rest on the daily 21 before it pushes off for a big move, right? And then it won't touch the daily 21 sometimes for a month. But after a big move like this, I mean, price typically needs to hit this daily 21 at minimum or the weekly 10. So check this out. So look how the weekly 10 is the red. I mean, look how far away it is to catch up. So if you want BEPRO to really take off here, it's going to be a lot healthier if we wait until, kind of like what I was saying, later March 22nd or so. I think one of my last videos I said specifically March 26th, but I'm on the weekly time frame. Let me see. Well, that's only March 16th. Hold on. Yeah, it would be nice if we filled this range and came out to here. So yeah, March 25th, 26th, exactly. So that's why I said that. That's where the origin line crosses. So I think it would be very healthy if the daily came like this, kept it about the same slope, and really the slope should start actually to get closer to zero, like a flat line, as price gets closer and closer to it. So this will start leveling off like this, and then it's going to sandwich. So imagine this. Why did I do that? Imagine this yellow line starts creating a slope like this right here. Something like that, okay? And then price is filling this out, dipping below, coming up, which would be a good buy. So something lower in this range here, between the two blue lines, those are your good dips to buy, by the way. Anyway, if price comes down here, dips below, comes up, it's going to get sandwiched between the breakout point and the 21. So that's when price really springs hard, and then you can go up, 2 and 3 and 4 times before you ever touch it again. And the reason why it would be good to do this is because you're doing two things. This line up here and this line up here, they will be our top ranges. I don't know which one it's going to be, but price isn't going to go over one of these. And it might be this one. And like I said earlier, this line, even though it's way lower, by June that's 50 cents, folks. That's 50 cents. That's ridiculous. I mean, this is still a very aggressive line, even though that one's way more aggressive. So what could happen is we come up here, and then, you know, we only touch it twice, and then we ride this line for the rest of the time, and get really big pullbacks if things get real hot from retail. Kind of like what Phantom's doing. It got too hot, right? So this is our too hot line. But anyway, if price gets sandwiched here, that's good. That's really good, because you're allowing the weekly indicators. We're on the daily right now, but you allow the weekly indicators, and you allow this line here to get higher. It's that simple. So looking at the weekly here, riding out until March 25th or 26th, it's going to, so price in bullish times really likes to hit the weekly 10. And honestly, we've hit it recently. I mean, we hit it here before. Actually, the perfect example. You see how on the weekly, this is the weekly. You see how price launched, the candle body launched off the 10 perfectly. That's what I'm talking about. It launched perfectly off of it. So during this week here, BEPRO went down first, so it could essentially lift up off of it, and that's exactly what it did. So you kind of, you know, I don't know how old you guys are, but there's one of the OG rappers, Coolio. He always had a pretty famous catchy song, "You gotta get up to get down." Well, here in crypto, you gotta get down to get up. So, or actually, for the moving averages, you gotta get up to get down. So, you know, these gotta get up. Actually, you gotta get up to get up. So, you know, lifting, trying to get this up here, you know, and maybe having a strong dip down, that would be healthy, and then spring off of it. Now, big major corrections though, so once BEPRO really gets hot, maybe 2 or 3 runs, 2 or 3 pumps, and then it has a major pullback for a month and a half, you know, looking at the weekly 21 would be a pretty solid area to get back in, or to, you know, to stop holding your breath and start getting bullish again. Which is kind of my guess with something like Phantom, which got really hot. This is like the most played line, perhaps the most played macro line in all of crypto, the weekly 21 in bull markets. And then your major like monthly plays are off the weekly 10 or the daily 21. These are major plays in bull markets, right? So that's what I'm seeing with BEPRO. So immediate action, I don't think it's going to lift off right away, not just because I want it to come over here. So when you're trying to make an analysis of what you think is going to happen, forget about what you want. What you want doesn't freaking matter. You know, don't make choices off what you want. Oh, you know, for example, Cardano holders. This is the technology behind it's great, and I'm willing up price. This deserves to be at $20. No. What you want doesn't matter. What you want doesn't matter, not just for Cardano, for BEPRO. What I want doesn't matter. So what I'm about to say here, you know, oh, you're fudding. No, I'm not fudding. I'm being realistic here. So look at this though, daily RSI. A lot of times when RSI gets trapped under its moving average, it stays under until it hits this white line, the 50 line. And Krown has that line there for a darn reason. It likes to ping off of it. So if you look at prior history, look, it pinged off of it. Actually, price got trapped below it. And what did price do? It came down. And this is probably where it might have played off one of the weekly. So what day is this? Early February. Let's see what that looks like on the weekly scale. Early February played off of both of these. So this is when it was crossing up. So honestly, when you saw this red cross above the L, that's bullish. That I wish I could have gotten in at 0.00082. This would have been a great buy. That would have been awesome. I wish I would have found it earlier. Dang. But anyway, so it was playing off both lines, which is really powerful, actually. So anyway, on the RSI daily, so look, we have a higher high, or the highest high, and then we also had a local high, but that local high, this isn't bearish divergence because this high isn't lower. However, it's getting trapped under the white line, which is the moving average of the RSI. Which moving average is it? I honestly don't freaking know. there you go, it's 12. So Krown picked 12 for a reason, because his computer modeling said to do that, or his prior experience of being a professional trader, managing millions and millions of dollars all in one moment. That's just what he did, and it works. So I think we're going to get sandwich under here. Now, however, you have to figure out or take into consideration what I said earlier, though. We are above the green line, so that means you can make newer highs, period. So it is possible that this white line, and look, the slope has changed. Look at right here where my cursor is. So the slope was going down, and then it leveled off. So the slope was about like that, and then it actually increased. So when you go from negative slope to zero slope, that is an increase in slope. So the slope is increasing. So can it bounce? Can it do a hard bounce and come up? Absolutely. That happens all the time in crypto, like this one. So came down and dipped under. Let me expand that. See, it came under and then it went bam. So it is absolutely possible that that happens. But I just don't see it happening. I think BEPRO will play out this range, and I think it's gonna allow the weekly 21 to sandwich it and then spring it. I think that's pretty probable right now, and honestly, it's the healthiest thing it can do. Because if it doesn't do it, folks, you're gonna have a bigger correction. That's just the way it is. So if you want a healthy run, then and again, what you want doesn't matter. However, it looks like this is gonna play out. So yeah, that's my thoughts on BEPRO. If I could look at the 4-hour, so this is kind of bullish. I mean, the 4-hour RSI is staying above. This is the case for a quick breakout. The 4-hour RSI is staying above that EMA. It's not above the green line, but it is above the EMA, and the slope is positive. Barely, it's starting to curl, but the slope's positive, and it is completely possible that price gets sandwiched from the 21 EMA on the 4-hour, and the 4-hour comes up, like I said, the daily, and we could spring right up about like that on the 11th of March here in a few days. Spring up, maybe have we'll probably have a stutter step here and go up. I mean, we could skyrocket right to 3.3 cents, you know, before 20th of March. Like, this could hit 3 cents before the end of the month, folks. I mean, that's you know, that's a lot of price action. That's over 300%, I'm pretty sure. What did I say? 3.3 cents. So that's over 300%. That's 356%. And a lot of times, so look how much it played off of the 4-hour 21, the yellow line here. I mean, it played off of actually lower lines. It's been playing the 89 EMA, actually, the purple one. So maybe we'll come down. Maybe we'll come down and hit it one more time and then spring up. I mean, all quickly, like, you know, by the 11th of March. Actually, that all could happen quickly. So the 4-hour is the most bullish. Let's take a look at the 2-hour time frame. See, the 2-hour time frame is going below that EMA, and the darn it, the EMA line, the white line, it's curling over. So the 4-hour chart is the only bullish one, and then you have Stokes curling way down here, but let's see where the Stokes support is on the 2-hour. So there is a lot of Stokes support here, and it is above. So the chance of it pinging off of there, you know, and then the Stokes coming down and pinging off this level. So you see where my horizontal line is for my newer viewers. So look how it touches this height here, and it came down off of it. It played around here and it springed off of as support. So here's resistance, here's support, here's support, 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 here's support, here's support, here's resistance, here's support. So you have trend lines in Stokes and RSI as well. It could ping right off. So I guess the 2-hour is indecisive. It's kind of a no play. I think it's a no play territory, like where you just sit. And so sometimes in trading, no trade is the best trade, like honestly. And I think in BEPRO, I think no trade's the best trade, and holding what you have is a no trade. So, or getting in stablecoins without crashing the price with market sales if you have a few million of them. I don't know. I'm kind of indecisive on BEPRO, whether it's going to break out sooner than later. And again, what I want doesn't matter. I want it to come out here to the 25th or 26th, but what I want doesn't matter. You know, if a big YouTuber covers it and people start buying, it's going to skyrocket in hours, right? If that happens. So that's my BEPRO train. Okay, other coins that I've been trying to let my followers know about that we're kind of seeing a breakout is Safe Haven, ticker SHA, and I think that's on KuCoin as well. I like KuCoin Exchange, folks. If you're not using KuCoin, you should really get on there. It's got a lot of good gems. Most exchanges don't have small cap gems. Coinbase has 0 small cap gems. They only have big caps. Binance or Binance America only has big caps. 0. Well, Binance has some old coins that could be a gem, like VIA coin. Grossel's not small, but VIA is pretty small. But anyway, almost 0. But anyway, so let's check out Safe Haven, and then we'll check out VRA ticker as well. And then I've heard multiple people talk about Holochain, which is hot ticker, and then a 𝐭𝐫𝐚𝐝𝐢𝐧𝐠 ticker. So I'll briefly cover those here at the end. But anyway, Safe Haven. So let's go to the weekly first. So when you're trying to figure out what to do, folks, I mean, I really suggest you start with the weekly when you're trying to get an analysis on what's happening here. So look, the price came down and really rested on here for quite a bit. It went all the way past the 21. So the chance of it price needing to come back down to recheck one of these lines immediately is pretty low. Especially in a bull market. I mean, a bear market, hell, you're going to crash below it. But it probably doesn't need to touch this for 6 weeks. Because, I mean, the MAs have already caught up on the biggest time frame, right? Because this is a newer coin. A monthly really isn't a time frame for you. There's no data. I mean, hell, Bitcoin barely has data for monthly. It's usable, barely usable at this point, but it is usable now. But anyway, you know, so this right here, it doesn't tell you a lot, but all you can see is good. You recently checked the key EMAs. The 21 is the yellow, the 10, the weekly 10, and you had a cross. So when your shortest time frames, like your 10 or 21, when those two are above a longer time frame, like a 55, the blue line, which doesn't even exist here because the coin's too new, 55 weeks, so the red is above the yellow. Red's a shorter time frame. This is bullish. So this is good. I mean, I don't know if I would call it bullish. Actually, I would. Yeah, we just had a recent cross up, and we had a recent test. Price action is above it. We're all good. So look down here at the RSI. So I'm more bullish on Safe Haven than any of the other altcoins I'm holding right now. Honestly, in terms of not long term. I'm not more long term bullish. I'm most short term bullish for this coin over any coin I've found. And whatever commenter told me about VRA and SHA and this coin, Safe Haven, thank you. those were awesome picks. It was perfect timing too. You did a great job. If you keep feeding me that stuff, we can get something really good going. And my other viewers, if you get small cap gems that are under 20 million that are getting ready to take off or are breaking out, absolutely let me know. So we as a team here can follow and capitalize. I mean, that's why my channel's here, so we can capitalize on our actions here. But anyway, so look at the RSI. This has a long way to go. It's still in the red territory, folks, and we just had a cross. So it has weeks and weeks and weeks to get up here. I mean, till May. Like, this could really, really take off, and it hasn't even hit all-time highs. So let's look at it on the BTC chart, though. And also, when you're looking at coins, you need to switch back and forth between this and the BTC chart. It does matter, because I trade about 40% of my trades on the BTC chart. So, and you should too. And it's really helpful during a breakout. So right now, just using the USDT chart is okay, because the breakout, is kind of forming. But when you're mid-breakout and you're trying to figure out when to start taking some profits and buy pullbacks later, you look at the BTC chart, especially if current price is below price that is left of it before. You look left. and Steve from Crypto Crew University. I've mentioned him, and I think I have him in the description section of one of my 2 mentors. Now they don't know they're my mentor, but he and Krown, and the book, the Trading Bible, Trading for a Living, which is also in the description section. Those have been my 3 sources over the last 4.5 years to learn how to make money in crypto. But anyway, so BTC chart, it also has a long way to go. I mean, look at the weekly RSI. It's way below the red. So this has so much room, people. This has a ton of room. And if you check out what this project's all about, it is a great use case. It's almost like a mixture of a crypto will and crypto life insurance, but life insurance via your crypto. So it's not paying you out money that you never had, you know, because you're paying a premium like real life insurance, but it's like a will to pass down your crypto wealth in a very anonymous way, perhaps so the government can't get your money and they don't have to know about it, but also so that no one bad actor after you die. So maybe one bad actor could be a child of yours who finds his or herself in a very desperate situation. So they, you know, any good person, no matter how good you are, if you're in a desperate situation, you will do bad things, right? Like if you're hungry enough, you will steal. Like, yes, you will. Doesn't matter how, you know, religious you are or whatever. If you're hungry enough, you're going to steal. But anyway, it has essentially like a foolproof, or in manufacturing, I'm a manufacturing recruiter, it's called Kaizen. It has a very Kaizen, and Kaizen means no, Kaizen doesn't mean that. Poka-yoke. It essentially poka-yoked the idea. Poka-yoke is a Japanese term which means foolproof, to make something foolproof. And I think poka-yoke just means foolproof. But anyway, has a foolproof way about bad actors, and it essentially shards the information needed in order to get access to those funds, so no one person can do it. But I don't know how foolproof is if also you are in a car accident and die with one of those people, and now the other people in your will can't get the shard from that person. I don't know how that would work. I haven't looked that deep into it. But anyway, it's got a great use case, and there's no other project that I know of that's doing that. Like so it's not a saturated market like those Ethereum killers like Neo, Cardano, EOS, Tron, and all that stuff. They're fading out. Everything but Cardano fading out. Like, that stuff isn't coming back, people. That was the flavor of the month, and honestly, I would say 80% of all Ethereum killers will fade out, and they won't be here in 10 years. They're not going to be. It was just a hype saturated market, but this is not a saturated market in terms of fundamentals, which fundamentals I guess are kind of important for your long-term holds. But anyway, I mean, look at this. Look at this RSI. You know, you got Stokes positive slope. And also have a long room to go on this. So this is the BTC pairing. It looks a lot different. So let's say we do get a breakout, right? So let me show you something here. When you get a breakout and you're trying to figure out when to start taking profits, like what might be the top of the range, you look at the BTC chart, because the BTC chart has price history left of it, right? So that's going to start creating resistance, a top end resistance. So look at this. I would start putting sell orders on the BTC pairing here. You don't know what it's going to be on the USD value, because if Bitcoin's going up at the same time that this is making a run on Bitcoin, that's when you get your 700% runs, right? Because it's making gains on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's making gains on the dollar, so this is making like super gains on the dollar, right? But if Bitcoin's going down and this breaks out, so it's really altcoins, when they break out as Bitcoin's going up, they're big breakouts, just by the way. So that's why you need to follow Bitcoin price action as well. That's also why I cover it in my separate videos daily. But anyway, it's going to hit resistance here, and it's going to come back and test probably a daily EMA. So yeah, it'll probably come up to about here. and I have a very sensitive keyboard and I keep touching numbers. Yeah, on the BTC chart. So as you see price in US dollars really start skyrocketing, and you need to double check all the time, depending on how much you're in it or not, but in playing around with trading. But I mean, straddling sell orders around here, some lower, some higher. And straddling's a term you might not know. Information down in the description section. Straddling limit sell orders, so don't, I wouldn't suggest market. I wouldn't suggest market sells. Those are unhealthy because you're sleeping a lot, right? You have to sleep, and so limit sell orders, they initiate when you're sleeping. But anyway, straddling limit sell orders around here. First, not all your bag. I wouldn't get rid of all of it in case it just screams up, right? What I call a 10 bag is this. If you put in limit sell orders around what you think will be upper end resistance, where you think you're going to ping off of it, have corrections, let your moving averages catch up, and so that 10 bag, 10% of what you hold in the coin, you leave 90% alone, which perhaps like BEPRO you can stake that 90%, but your 10 bag, if you sell limit sells here, and then on the USD chart, and this is what I'm doing, kind of training my crypto, my friends, my personal friends on Facebook. So I'm creating a Twitter handle for all my viewers. So I do have Twitter, by the way. It's in the description section. But anyway, so let's say price makes like a 300% run from the top. So let's say price gets to 2.5 cents. And it starts coming down, and so when it makes a run, it's going to be volatile at first, like big swings like this, right? And then it'll start forming a smaller base, almost like a vibration oscillator, right? That it might oscillate big at first, and then it gets smaller and smaller, so it forms a triangle sort of thing, and that's why triangles happen, kind of. So it comes up here, and you guessed roughly right because of the BTC pairing. You sold up here, you wait for a lot of volatility down, and you buy at a key level. Let's say just pick one, because you're not leverage trading here. So if you pick too high and it crashes down below, as long as you have confidence it's going to come back up, you're good. Like, you don't panic sell, just buy it there. It's lower than what you just sold it for, so wait, and then you just stack some for lower. And so now your 10 bag, let's say you had whatever, like 300,000 safe haven coins, and you sold up here at resistance 3.5 cents, and you bought down, let's see here, how big of a move. Actually, let's just say something like this. Yeah, 60% swing's pretty big. But, and honestly, I wouldn't have caught this. I would have maybe put my buy orders down here. So, whew, that was deep. I don't know why that happened. Maybe because the run was too big? No? That's not very healthy. I don't know why that happened. That's really big, people. That's pretty volatile. But that's what I'm saying here. So, anyway, it screams up, and so if it has a 30% drop, well, let's say you had 300,000, 30% of that roughly is 100,000. Now you have 400,000 of them. Now your 10 bag is not a 10 bag anymore. It's more like a 15% bag or an 18% bag. And then if you do that twice, and then you just put limit sell orders, once you snag it, just don't look. Just put limit sell orders straddled around the same top end of the range, because the chance of it just breaking through on the first time is kind of low, which kind of makes me think this might not break out right away. Because this is going against my bullishness, my short-term bullishness is going against what I'm saying here. But anyway, but it hasn't made a blue sky breakout, so that's why this might not range out. But anyway, blue sky breakout, and then you limit sell it here again, and then you just pick another moving average that is lower than current price, maybe your daily 21. Pick the daily 21, and you might actually make a guess where the daily 21 would be. Kind of like keep the same slope, but you're doing it up here, right? The yellow line. Kind of think, okay, let's give it 8 days. If it hits it in 8 days, it'll be at about, so I said 3.5 cents. So when it comes all the way down to here, you think the daily, and you put in limit buy orders straddled around the 0.0226. Then that's a 20% drop. Now, so from 400,000, now you have 480,000. So your 10 bag is now like your 25 bag. It's 25% of your current holdings, right? So all you do is play around with the ranges with your 10 bag, and it grows. I mean, you're growing your holdings, and if you make wrong calls or bad calls, and it just keeps tanking and dropping, you know, and it doesn't come back up for a long time, at least you know, you didn't make bad buys and sells with 90% of your bag, right? So that's why I suggest to my group, play with your 10 bag, try to grow your 10 bag. And since we're in a bull market, right, the chance of your 90 bag just continuously dropping the whole year is very low. I mean, it's close to zero. Now, could it happen for 2 months? Absolutely, but this is a bull market, and it's going to stay a bull market for quite a while. So that's kind of that's what I kind of suggest to my viewers as well. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am an amateur, and these are my novice opinions. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing on SHA here. I mean, so it has a strong, since it had such a deep correction, the need for it to fill out a range is not as much, because things fill out ranges. Why? So the moving averages can catch up and it can springboard off of it. So it already has done this. So the chance of this coming up here, make it a small range and busting out, I mean, by the second week of April, first week of April, it's pretty high. And you know, just to the all-time high is 56% move. So if you had 100,000 of these, or let's say you have $1,000 worth of SHA of safe haven, you know, up here it's going to be $1,500. Like, that's a big move, and then it's going to go up. So and if you can increase your 10 bag as well as price goes up, I mean, you're capitalizing on your gains. So, you know, immediate price action, what I'm seeing here, so this is the daily chart. I mean, look at this, look at the history of this. And maybe not look at the green, look at the white. White just got above this white line for the first time, and it had a negative slope, and now it has a positive slope. And RSI, the green line, is above the EMA. So the chance of this getting into bullish territory is very high, and it needs to get to the green in order to bust through this. It can't bust. It can. If it tinkers around here and gets stuck and it kind of like pierces through sometimes, it can. And then it's going to probably come down and retest its prior high, which I think is what is happening with VRA. I think daily RSI is stuck here. But anyway, so positive slope on the white line, the EMA, the RSI is EMA, and the RSI is above it, and Stokes are pointed up, and the moving averages, it's already tested them, and it doesn't need to check them again. It can springboard a lot off these. This has a lot of room, people, and it hasn't met its all-time high yet. So, you know, like, you know, to go up to, what did I say, 3.5 cents earlier from current? Yo, that's 700%, or yeah, that's 700%, folks. That's a lot of money opportunity. Like, so that's why I think this is the best short-term bullish coin that I've found, even better than VRA, who has a blue sky breakout. So if you want to see shorter term action, let me see here. So RSI here is curling down, the EMA is. However, look at your Stokes. So look at the support line. So see where my cursor is here. So look how it has the resistance, 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 resistance. But here it's support. Here it's support. It's actually been mostly resistance, because the only bullishness it's had, it stayed way up here. But anyway, so this is the 4-hour chart, which is a great chart, especially for newer coins, and it's a good way to look at, you know, weekly decisions, perhaps daily decisions. You know, look at the Stoke. It's curling back above, and it's doing it almost at the same level it did here. So the chance of, you know, this just being a dip below before it comes up even higher, the green line comes up even higher towards this white line, it's pretty high. I mean, look at what it did back here. Let's get closer. look, that got a negative slope, and RSI came below it, which RSI has to go below it in order to get a negative slope, right? So it's kind of, but anyway, and then it popped right back up, and look what the Stokes did. They curled back up. So even the 4 hour is bullish, like immediate bullish, as in if you hit market buy right now, the chance of you increasing your money today and tomorrow is pretty high. Is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. It could crash right back down here and test this. It probably wouldn't come that low. So this is resistance, this is support. So if it crashed down, it would probably come down to 0.003. Right there at this line right there. So see where my cursor is, all that support, and see here all this resistance, and see here all this resistance. So a lot of resistance, a lot of support. Let's see what it looks like on the daily. Resistance, resistance, support. It didn't do it here, but it did on the 4 hour. So yeah, I mean, this is hot, people. This could get real hot real fast. This could get hot fast. All right, so let's go over to VRA. Okay, so this is the daily. Actually, let's start with the weekly. Okay, so let's start with the weekly Stokes. Weekly Stokes are negative slope. However, in bullish runs, it's very, very, very healthy and very common, as you just saw, even though we saw it on a different time frame. But weekly Stokes in a bull market, it likes to go down here and then curl back above, and come back down and curl, sometimes 3 and 4 times. On the weekly chart, 4 times, probably not. But 2 times or 1 time, absolutely. I mean, it happens all the time. And I think Bitcoin's run 2015 to 2016, it did it like 8 times. I mean, so this could stay up here the entire rest of the year. Now, if weekly does happen to come down here in the 40s, you know, that's a very, like the 45 mark is kind of like Bitcoin's number, where when it's making its 30% corrections, the weekly, or is it the daily? Either the daily or the weekly, it loves, like throughout 10 years of price history, loves to come down to that 45, 46 mark. And each coin has a different mark. Like they form a different, over time, you know, they form a different support, and resistance. So this is, you know, the chance of this curling back up is pretty high. So that's what we got going on here on the weekly. And it recently just springboarded off this 10. What else do we got? So this is the daily. The daily, we had a lot of time hanging down here, which means on a shorter time frame, it did touch the red. And when RSI touches the red, that's when it likes to springboard off, which is probably reminiscent, or the reason, or it coincides with this springing up back above the RSI. So I mean, even though, you know, it had a breakout and it's retesting its prior high, which is pretty healthy. And I think in my prior video when I said it's breaking out, I said it has at least a 20% chance of coming back down. So I said, if you missed the breakout, you know, don't buy glory. Don't buy glory. You know, don't buy it way above its breakout point. You either buy breakouts or blood. Don't buy anything else. Don't buy glory as it's charging up. You don't do that. And it's not financial advice. But don't do that. So that's why I said this. I said it has a 20% chance. So if you miss the breakout and you know it's not right about here, then don't buy it. And I said, you know, 20% chance you can buy the retest of this, and look what happened. Retest of this. So so anyway, so look at the RSI on the daily. It's above the green line, and we have a positive slope. It already retested its prior high. And this is the daily. I would say in the next, I would say it's gonna wait until the daily 10 is up to here, so till tomorrow, and then tomorrow might be a nice big fat green candle, or the next day. So Tuesday or Wednesday, once this daily 10 gets up here, it's probably gonna be liftoff time. So I am weekly bullish on this, not immediate, but anyway, blue sky breakouts on price history. I mean, look on the USD pairing, not on BTC. This is blue sky breakout. It could go up, you know, 300% from here. So when do you know when to start taking profits? Well, you flip around to the BTC pairing, And look. So where did it hit and bounce off of? Go figure. Where a bunch of resistance is. Resistance here, here, here. It didn't quite hit my, so my 10 bag, I did it on the BTC chart. I did it from here to here, so I actually was shy. However, here's what's bullish about this. Since it already came up and about got this, it pretty much got this resistance almost perfectly. And it's retesting its prior high and letting that daily 10 kind of catch up and to springboard off of it, which is it's doing that on the BTC pairing too. I mean, look at the weekly 10 right here. The chance of it the chance of that of this retest allowing it to come all the way up here is pretty high. So as opposed to the chance of it coming only back up to here again, this retest is gonna give it better chances to break through this on the BTC chart. Now, even if it only comes back up to here, if Bitcoin's going up, that means price is going to go up too, right? So even if this only comes back up to the, so look where my cursor is, this is BTC pairing. If Bitcoin is increasing on the dollar, so price is increasing from 49 to 50,000, whatever, and it only comes back up to here, that means price makes a newer high, right? This is a different pairing. So it's kind of like buying a sword in the Iron Age, either with chickens or with lambs. You need more chickens to buy the sword than you do with lambs, right? So it's apples and pears, or it's apples and oranges, right? Totally different stuff. So that's why, you know, it is bullish if it comes right back up to here when BTC is rising. So that would be perfectly fine. You're making gains on your US dollar. So if you straddle orders, you know, somewhere around here to here, to play with your 10 bag, you know, with 10% of your holdings, and then try to buy a dip at a key level on the USD chart. So maybe go to the daily or the 4 hour and put in limit buy orders on the 89, which is my favorite go-to. Even though this one, yeah, historically this doesn't play the 80. Yeah, it does. It kind of does. Yeah, it played almost the 89 there. So it did here, played the 89 there. Yeah, so for the 4 hour 89 EMA is just a great, it's a great play. Actually, no, this isn't the 4 hour. That's the daily. So purple line's 89. So it played it almost perfectly there. Look at that. So and so I played the 49 EMA a lot after a specific breakout for my first dip, and this one even made a newer high. And look at all that bearish divergence here. So the RSI was higher, but price was lower than it is here. And then when price got higher, the RSI was lower, right? So that would be a good time to sell. When you see it skyrocket up here, so if you only use the USDT chart to figure out when to, you know, sell your 10 bag, look at this. It made a higher high in price, lower high in RSI. See the green is here is lower than green here, but price is higher here, so that means bearish divergence. And so, you know, and it could do bearish divergence again, or it could just go straight up. But once the green got stuck below here and tested up, see how it came down and hit it. Once this green started making a, like right there, that's when I would have gotten out. I would have gotten out right there. Now sometimes, you know, when the green is coming back up to test it, it will break right through. So I would have waited until it made a negative slope and was stuck below this on the 4 hour. So I love playing the 4 hour for weekly decisions, folks. Like, it is beautiful. It might be the best time frame to play for quick decisions. But you want to base those decisions off your daily time frame and weekly time frame as well, right? So whether you're generally bullish, generally or generally short-term or mid-term bearish. Anyway, right there when it turned negative, bam, on this red candle, that's when I would have gotten out. But anyway, so there are more than one way to get out. You don't always have to use the BTC pairing. It's just good during like blue sky breakouts on the US dollar pairing, just when to straddle some sell orders, which that information's down below. So what are we on? VRA, USDT, the 4 hour. Yeah, so if this gets a blue sky breakout, you know, up to here, maybe not that high, let's say 300%. If it goes to 1.3 cents or so, which is a reasonable range, And I don't know how that will coincide with the BTC pairing. It all depends on BTC price, right? So on the BTC pairing, it could go up to the exact same area where it just hit and turned red, but price could be up here if Bitcoin skyrockets, right? So so you have to take BTC pairing with a grain of salt. It really depends on the price. But anyway, if it comes way up here to whatever I just said, you know, and you had straddled limit sell orders up here, what you could do is, once price is up here and this purple line is still a little bit below it, you can just look at the slope and kind of draw it out, and say, hey, if this comes down to check the 4-hour 89 EMA in about 3 days, it'll be about here, and just put limit buy orders there, straddled, like some above, some at, some below, right? And once you buy back, if that is a 40% dip or a 30% dip, if you had, so let's say it's a 35% dip, if you had 100,000 of these and you sold around, you had limit sells around a certain area around the top of the range, and you catch it at a 30% dip, now you have 130,000, right? And now your 10 bag is bigger than a 10 bag. It's your 15 bag or whatever. So that's how I play, folks. So now we're going to hot. All right. So even though this has already seen a lot of glory, I mean, shoot, like this area would have been a good time to buy hollow, or this right here. Actually, I would have, if I were following hollow, I would have done it. So crashing down, I would have waited for a retest. I would have bought it there if I were following Holochain, because look at this. This made a higher low, and it made a higher low with all this support. That would have been the perfect time to get in, because you don't know if price would keep just going down, even though it's kind of a bull market. I mean, guys, this has seen a lot of price action. That's only 33 days. I wouldn't get into this if I'm not holding it now. That's 600% 30 days. I would not get into this right now. Even though it's not buying glory, this is buying glory, this is buying glory, this is buying glory. I mean, you know, the chance of this skyrocketing again another 200% is, I mean, it's a bull market, and retail is coming in, and Holochain does have a lot of marketing. A lot of YouTubers talk about it. It could pop up, but I sure wouldn't do it. So, Alex, stay quiet. So, yeah, and I'm going to start recording out in my office. I just got my office all prepped and cleaned, so I won't have kids running around anymore. But my wife is now feeling better, so I had been inside. She's sleeping right now, so. But I told her, you feel better. We're not doing these naps anymore. But anyway, so that's what I'm seeing with Holo on the 4-hour. Yeah, and so look at the daily. It is stuck. The RSI EMA, the white line, is negative, and RSI stuck below it. So this is, I wouldn't get into this right now. You see this curling back up? This is, I don't know. This is, so the Stochastic support line, it is kind of curling up, and the current price is above the daily 10. And if you're above the daily 10, that is bullish. So, but still. This is stuck below. I absolutely would not get in. Maybe I would try to get in if, like here, put buy orders here at 0.00253. But I honestly, if I said I have to buy Holochain, because you know, I think it's the best thing in the market, even though the market cap's probably your ROI chances of this are, you know, it already saw its run. Like, so your potential for, anyway. Yeah, so see this RSI green stuck below here? I would, so if I had sold my 10 bags somewhere around here, I wouldn't even wait. I wouldn't look at price action. Price action is going to be really volatile. I would base my buyback decisions off of the RSI on the daily. I would wait till I hit the white line, maybe buy back half of what I plan to buy back, and then the other half for the red. Because look, it plays the red a lot. I mean, it played it here, played it here, played it here. That's what I would play the RSI on this, because price action is going to be really volatile. What's the weekly doing? Weekly still above the green. I mean, but look. I mean, what I've been talking about earlier is this is going to range out for quite a while. because it's not going to springboard again until it at least touches the 10. I mean, look at this. Look from where it springboarded the first time. Springboarded off of what? The 10. What did it? So after it came way up here, price came down. Where did it straddle around? The 10. So things work until they don't. So what do you think it's going to do? This might hang out a little bit, let the 10 come up. It's going to dip below it down to 0.002, and it's going to take off. And what will the daily be doing? So this is the weekly. What will the daily be doing when it does that? The RSI will be coming down to the white or the red. So I would play the weekly chart, the 10. I would play the 10, and I would play the daily RSI. That's what I would do with Holochain. Oh me. This is the daily. It's got a double top. It's already ranged out. Folks, this has already seen a big run. I mean, look. It's already seen over 1,000% run. So if you're trying to capitalize your gains from your US dollars investing into stuff, you need to find things that are about to do this, not that have done this, that YouTubers are covering. Why do you think YouTubers are covering this crap? Or maybe this isn't crap. Like, no, this is OMG. Sorry, this is the wrong thing. It's on. This must be a new coin, so I don't know anything. I can't do technical analysis on something that's not on here because that means it's too new. And I think I made a comment on somebody. I don't know. But yeah, this is OMG, and OMG is a pretty famous coin. But anyway, when you're but this is a perfect example of what not to do. YouTubers cover things and they make you excited about it, right? There are two reasons why they do it, or a mixture of both of these reasons. First is they bought bags, they bought a dip at the 200, and now they want to talk about it because they want you to buy it. They increase their bags if they have a lot of followers. Or two, they just need something to talk about, and Holochain is trending. They just want views on their channel. That doesn't mean you buy that crap. This might not be crap. OMG is actually, it's been around for a good bit here, and it's a pretty good coin. But if you're looking to make gains in crypto, this is not the way to do it, folks. This is not the way to do it. You find coins that are about, like this breakout here, you find coins that are about to do all this. You don't buy coins that have done this, okay? You're not going to make huge gains. You might make 2x, 3x, 5x. Like if you bought Cardano right now, well, first off, you're going to see a big correction and your money's going to go down first. But it might get up to $3 or $4. So if Cardano's at around $1, how many times? So if you had $100 of Cardano, or let's say $1,000 of Cardano right now, and you bought now, and it gets up to $3.50, you have $3,500. Wow. Why would you do that? Like the risk reward is too low because the reward is too low. The risk is too high. The risk is way greater than that reward. 3.5x in crypto. I mean, maybe traditional markets, that's really good. That's like dreamy. But even though with the Fed pumping money into the system, it's not dreamy, but everything's coming down finally, like it should have. But anyway, you want to find coins that are about to do this, people, not coins that have done it. So when a YouTuber talks about stuff and you're a retail buyer, and I'm saying this because you're newer to the space most likely, you're trying to find out how to make money, I get it. So don't just listen to a YouTuber. If a YouTuber talks about something, hell, when I talk about something, you need to figure out for yourself. Don't believe what I'm saying. Don't believe me. Like, take it as, potentially really good advice. I don't want anybody to believe me because, this isn't financial advice. But don't believe what I'm saying. Don't believe anybody. It's your money, right? Why would you believe me? It is your money. Believe yourself. So take kind of the things I teach you here and make good choices with it. So one of the most no-brainer things is find coins that are about to do this, not have done this. And yeah, so BEPRO one more time for my BEPRO train. Yeah, we got the same stuff going on. So the daily's below here. Yeah, I think this is going to range out, people. I think I'm going to wrap up with this, and I got to get to work. So other than that, that's what we got. Market's getting hot. I think Safe Haven is the best short-term buy. I could be wrong. I'm not always right. VRA might be a good time to check it out in a day or two to see if it's going to get some upward momentum here. And buying with momentum is always a good idea. Buying dips is also a good idea, buying blood or breakouts. But other than that, that's what I got for you. And my cryptillians and crypto crackheads, you just got timified. We'll see you tomorrow.